There are many inventors and genius scientists who changed the world with their inventions and ideas. But among all of these, Albert Einstein remains the most genius mind of scientists in various fields of science. And perhaps we do not exaggerate if we describe him as one of the smartest human minds in recorded human history. The invention of physics again. Albert Einstein was born in the German city of Ulm in 1879 to Jewish parents and spent his childhood in Munich. His father worked selling feathers used in the manufacture of pillows. Einstein was not a beautiful child. When he was born, his head was very huge. Within weeks, the shape of his head became normal. When he was a child, was delayed in speech until the age of 3. Although he is Jewish, he entered a Catholic preparatory school. It is rumored that he failed mathematics when he was young, but that is not true. The fact is that he was superior and was familiar with physics and a violinist and learns Latin and Greek. Also, at the age of 5, his father gave him a compass, and Einstein realized that there is a force in the universe that influences the compass needle and its movement. The funny thing is that one of the smartest human minds had difficulty understanding, and perhaps the reason for that was that he was a very shy child after the repeated losses of his father. At work, his family moved to Milan, Italy, and Einstein took advantage of the opportunity to withdraw from school in Munich, where he hated the strict regime. Einstein loved his teaching methods and would often take his time to study physics on his own, until he passed the exams and graduated in the year 1900. Einstein had given up his official German papers in 1896, which made him without belonging to any particular country. In the year 1898, Einstein met Milica Maric, his Serbian classmate, and fell in love with her. After graduating, he worked as a substitute teacher, and in the following year, he obtained Swiss citizenship, and in the same year, he had a daughter with his girlfriend. The indiscretion of the scientist Einstein in his youth prevented him from obtaining a suitable job in the teaching profession. The father of one of his classmates got him a job as an examiner in the Swiss patent office. Einstein married his girlfriend Mileva in 1903 and had a male baby named Hans. In the meantime, he prepared for the doctoral dissertation and was able to obtain it after only 2 years from the University of Zurich. The subject of the thesis was, "It is about the dimensions of particles." In the same year, Einstein wrote 4 scientific articles without referring to many scientific references or consulting with his academic colleagues. These scientific articles are considered the first stone in modern physics that we know today. Einstein was famous for the theory of relativity, that theory that shook the entire world, which was the subject of the second paper, which dazzled and baffled scientists at the time. Einstein's third scientific paper was on the special theory of relativity. The paper dealt with time, space, mass, and energy. It should be noted that Einstein's theory completely contradicted the conclusions of Isaac Newton's laws, which amazed the world with Einstein's special theory of relativity because the absolute truth related to time, space, and dimensions has become rejected. The theory was named in particular to differentiate it from Einstein's later theory, which was called general relativity. The second child was born, who was named Edward Einstein, and then he divorced his wife. The strange thing is that the money that Einstein received from the Nobel Prize was spent entirely as a divorce settlement from his wife. The strangest thing is that he won the Nobel Prize for his research on the photoelectric effect, not the famous theory of relativity. No one knows until now anything about Einstein's first female child from his wife Mileva, as some believe that she died during the breastfeeding period, and others believe that her parents gave her to those who had no children for adoption. In the year 1914 and before the World War, Einstein was not an advocate of war, but he was Jewish, which caused anger and racism among some German patriots, and this resentment was fueled by Einstein when he became known at the global level. With the arrival of the Nazi leader Adolf Hitler to power in 1933, hatred towards Einstein increased, so the Nazis accused him of establishing the so-called Jewish physics, as some German scientists tried to undermine Einstein's rights in his theories, which is the matter which prompted him to flee to the United States of America, where in turn granted him permanent residence, and he joined the Institute for Advanced Studies of Princeton University in New Jersey, and in 1940, Einstein became an American citizen while retaining his Swiss citizenship. Einstein had many strange behaviors, including that all his clothes had the same shape and color. About that, he said, "I do not want to exhaust my mind in choosing clothes." He also never owned a car in his life, and he never learned to drive. Likewise, He was famous for having a weak memory. He was unable to remember names, dates, or phone numbers. In the year 1955, Albert Einstein died after suffering a vessel explosion. The doctors suggested surgery, but he refused, saying it was inappropriate to prolong my life artificially. His body was cremated in Trenton, New Jersey, and the ashes of the body were scattered in an unknown location. Einstein was a Jew, but he believed in a God who is in harmony with everything that exists in the universe, not a God who interferes with human destinies and actions. In a direct question about the closest religion to his beliefs, Einstein replied that it was Buddhism. Einstein had many positions that soften humanity. The Israeli government offered him head of state in 1952, but he refused as he denounced the segregation between whites and blacks in America and worked against racism in many international forums. He always said that the thing he regretted the most in his life was his speech to U.S. President Franklin Roosevelt, in which he warned him of the nuclear bomb and told him that Germany would have nuclear supremacy. The speech is considered one of the most important reasons, and the main player in the nuclear race during World War II, and to this day, was expressing his remorse, saying, "If I had known that the Germans would not be able to build a nuclear bomb, I would not have written a letter." Albert Einstein will remain a milestone in the history of humanity, with his unique mentality that changed our view of the universe around us, and laid the foundation for modern physics, which was the first building block of the amazing technological development that the world is experiencing now.